Hello, welcome to the Liberated Multitasker. Let's start some seeds.
I'm going to try something new this year with seeds. So for Christmas, my husband got me this soil blocker from Walmart. It's just cheap. You can do it with the four little seed starters, or you can do it with just the one big one. And so I'm going to try this with the little one. One thing, your seed starter mix has to be really wet. So let me get my gloves on. So I'll have to get in here with my hands, and I'm going to have it already good and wet. I'm just using the Jiffy Organic Seed Starter Mix. So have it packed in really good. Now I got these trays from Epic Gardener along with some seed starting trays. So let's see how this is going to do. I think that looks pretty good. So I will just put the seed in the little hole. I will mark them, and we will see how that's going to work. We're supposed to water them from the bottom anyway. The difference with these and what I'm going to do on the other trays is that this is not going to have a heating mat or a dome. So we'll see how that works. So let me get this tray filled with the seed blocks.
This process really was fairly easy, and I do believe I will use these again. It's been a couple of days and they're still holding together really well. I more than likely will use this along with my seed starting cells. I really do like them both.
Now I have plenty more Jiffy Mix that I can wet, but I also have this, and I've never tried this before. So I'm going to rehydrate this block and see how that works. This block is supposed to rehydrate to 12 quarts, the same as a bag of the Jiffy. So let's test it out. It's mostly hydrated, so I'm going to see how it does with this. I may need to add some more water.
This is holding up just as well as the Jiffy, so I think you could do either one.
So I have two trays of seed blocks, and there are 44 seed starters on each tray. And now I'm going to switch over to my regular seed start containers. I got these from Epic Gardener. I like these because they're really sturdy and reusable. They're easier to punch the plants out. You also can do mini domes. This would go on the bottom. And then when you seed start, there you have your greenhouse effect. So I really like these. I switched over so I wouldn't have to keep getting the disposable ones. These are very sturdy. I like these. I'm not affiliated with this company, but I will link these in the description below. They also have the bigger trays, and so when these germinate and sprout and beget leaves, I will transplant these into these larger ones, and from here I will put them in the garden. So let's see how these feel. Because the holes are bigger, the dirt, if it's dry, especially that seed starting dirt, can fall through these holes. So that's another reason I decided to wet my mix before I fill my trays.
Now this doesn't take long at all, and they really do fill up nicely. I think I'll do this again.
They're not falling through the bottom. And I didn't fill them completely full, so when I add my seeds, I can sprinkle some dry mix on top and then mist the top. I'm going to fill these and bring you back when I'm ready to start some seeds. So now it's time to start some seeds. I think I'll do Roma tomatoes over here. San Marzano Lungo number 2s over here. I'm going to do 4 types of tomatoes with just a few red cherry tomatoes and only 2 types of peppers. My slicing tomatoes are going to be the Cherokee Purple and the Brandywine. I loved the Brandywine last year. Marzano Lungo number 2s on this side. What I normally do is when I plant my seeds, then I will go ahead and order seeds for the next year. I like to keep them on hand. I did go through my seeds. I had some that were pretty old I needed to toss. I really need these to germinate because my planting season is going to be in about 6 weeks. If these all germinate, they're still going to be pretty small plants by the time I get them in the ground, which is fine because they will jump at that point, but I do normally like for them to be a bit bigger. And over here, I'm going to do Romas.
One thing I think I will do next year is make sure I have a heating mat, a seed heating mat under my soil block seed starters.
I'm going to go ahead and pinch these closed.
Now pinching these off just takes a little second.
So one reason I'm starting so many seeds is I do not have time to do a second round. So if these do not germinate, I will have to buy my tomatoes and peppers. I'm going to hope and pray that these germinate and thrive.
Now here, I'm just going ahead and labeling my rows with popsicle sticks. That way I know where everything is.
Alright, so I have paste tomatoes on the ends on the soil block, but I really don't know how that's going to work. So I'm going to do 24 starts of Cherokee Purples, 24 starts of Brandywines, 12 of the San Marzano Lungo No. 2s, 12 Romas, 12 cherries, 24 red bell peppers, and 36 Marconi bell peppers. I'm shooting to start 2 seeds per section. Sometimes more gets in there, that's okay, but that's what I'm shooting for.
This process is the same for all my tomatoes and peppers. I'm putting about 2 seeds per hole, about 1/4 inch deep. Now here, I'm sprinkling over some dry seed starting mix to cover my seeds. Just wanting to make sure they're nice and covered before we give them a good mist.
Let's give them a spritz. Little domes on top.
Now I have very mixed emotions about these little domes. In one aspect I like them, and in another I think I prefer the larger domes for the entire seed tray.
Alright, so we will see how this goes.
I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon.